Namaste students. So last class we studied about different types of architecture. So in that different types of architectures, there are three types: logical one tier in one tier architecture, logical two tier client server architecture, logical three tier client server architecture. That we studied, and after that we studied about different types of data models. In that different types of data models, we studied hierarchical model, network model, and relational model. So under hierarchical model, there is a topmost node. It is called as parent node, and all other nodes are child nodes. And it faces and under hierarchical data model, it uses one to many architecture or one to many relationship. And next, second one is network model. So under network model, it uses many to many. And third one is relational model. So under relational model, it uses table. Table means it's a collection of data. It's a collection of data. It is explained in terms of rows and columns. So these things we studied in last class. And relational model, it is developed by EF Code in 1970s. And in this relational data model, unlike the hierarchical and network model, there is no physical links. There is no physical links. So one data, it is connected to another data, and it is formed in the form of table. Okay, next one is, today we are going to study about logical data model. So logical data model, in that case, it includes normalization, entities, attributes, and relations. So what do you mean by normalization? So normalization means actually it is a process of organizing data in a database. Organizing a data in a database, that means the main thing whenever you're going to design a database management system, we need to know how to organize the data in a database. That means it should not there should not be any what we can say complexity. So in that way we have to store our data, and this includes creating tables and establishing relationships between those tables according to rules designed both to protect the data and to make the database more flexible by eliminating redundancy and inconsistent dependency. That means here eliminating redundancy means eliminating duplicate items, eliminating duplicate rows, and inconsistent dependency. There may be a lot of changes in the database or data types. So this includes normalization rules includes establishing relationships, that means which establish relation with one data to another in such a way that it should eliminate the redundancy and the inconsistent dependency. And there are some rules that is for the database normalization. Each rule is called as normal form. Then we can have first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, fourth normal form, and fourth normal form is also called as BCNF, Boy's Code Normal Form. Next, move on to the next slide. And here, if the first rule is observed, the database is said to be the first normal form. Okay. Next, normalization rules are divided into following normal form. See, first one is first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, fourth normal form. See, what do you mean by first normal form? What do you mean by first normal form? A row of data cannot contain repeated group of data. That is, each column must have unique value. And here we can use the primary key, that is to identify a particular row or tuple in a table. That means it uniquely identifies a particular item. So each row must have a unique identifier, that is primary key. And consider the following table. See, in this table there are three fields or three attributes: product ID, color, and price. So take the first row, and here product ID is 1 and two colors are there, red and green, and price is 15.99, and second one is yellow, third one is green, and fourth one is yellow and blue. Fourth product ID, fourth one is yellow and blue, and its price is 9.99. So here what happens is, in this particular table which leads some complexity, That means red and green is there in first row, red and green is there, its product ID is 1 and price is 15.99, and here there is no separate items. That means how much red and what is the price of red and what is the price of green. That means particular individual elements price is not mentioned. So in the above table is not in first normal form because the color column contain multiple values. For example, first row includes the values red and green. To bring this table to first normal form, we split the table into two tables, and now we have the resulting table like this. See this product ID. In previous table, just go through the previous table. Here product ID, color and price is there. Product ID, color and price is there. And color red and green, which consists the price same 15.99. And here we are taking product ID 15.99 and product ID 2, that is 23.99, 3 17.50, and fourth one is 9.99, and product ID is 5 and its price is 29.99, and take another table like this. That means we are going to split one table into two, and in that case we are specifying the color differently. And product ID, in this case first we are specifying product ID is red, and again we are taking product ID 5 is red, and here fourth one is yellow, and here also fourth one is blue. And actually in the previous table product ID 1 there are two colors red and green. Here we are specifying product ID in 2 times and red and green. So these are above first normal form. In this first normal form that contain the independent data and which divides the given table into two in such a way that it should be able to bring that particular table into the first normal form. Next, now first normal form is satisfied as the columns on each table all hold just one value. Next, what do you mean by second normal form? So under second normal form, a database in second normal form, if it satisfies the following condition. First one is it should be in the first normal form. In any database table, if it is in second normal form, that should be in the first normal form. So that is the first condition, that should be in the first normal form. And second condition is all non-key attributes are fully functional dependent on the primary key. Fully functional dependent on the primary key. It means that for a table that has a concatenated primary key, concatenated means two or more columns combined to form a primary key, and each column in the table that is not part of the primary key, must depend upon the entire concatenated key for its existence. See, whenever you are going to combine two columns and it is said to be a primary key, and in that case we can't take individual column as a primary key. That means combination of those two columns or two or more columns and its existence is treated as concatenated key, or we can say it's a primary key. That means which combines that particular two columns combines to form a key. So that is about second normal form. If any column depends only on one part of the concatenated key, that means if it is depend on a particular column, then the table fails second normal form. That means both two or more columns, that means its combined value or concatenated key that should depend on concatenated key, which is not recognized by a single column, then the table fails second normal form. See, consider the table which is not in second normal form. Table name is library. See this, here library ID is there, and then yes, student name is there, issue ID is there, issue name, book details. See here library ID 101 and 102 S name, that means student name is Ramu and issue ID is 10 and 11 and issue name is Rakesh and book details C++ and Java. That means here Ramu, he took two books C++ and Java and issue name is Rakesh. Actually Rakesh is a staff of that particular library. In the table concatenated of library ID and issue ID is a primary key. See, consider these two things, library ID and issue ID, whose concatenated or combined by combination of these two columns will form a primary key. This table is in first normal form but not in second normal form because there are partial dependencies of columns on primary key. Partial dependencies are there. So what do you mean by partial dependencies? Here issue name and book details depends on issue ID. Library student name is depends on library ID. So partially dependencies are there. So S name is only dependent on library ID and issue name is dependent on issue ID. There is no link between book details and S name. So there is no link between student name and book details. So to reduce library table to second normal form, break the table into following three different tables. See, just go through this table: library ID, student name, issue ID, issue name and book details. See, consider this table. First we are going to divide a first part, or we are creating a new table by using the first one. Here library ID, here 101, 102, 103, 104. So 4 different library IDs and student name also. So we are going to create the first table, and second table will be issue ID and issue name. Issue ID and issue name here also 10, 11, 12, 13. So primary key Rakesh, Gopal like this. And next here book detail, library ID, issue ID and book detail. Just go through the previous table here. Here library ID is there, student ID. So first library ID and student name is the first table. Issue ID and issue name. Issue ID and issue name is the second table. Next library ID and then issue ID, book details. See, library ID, student name, issue ID, issue name, and third one is library ID, issue ID and book details. So like this, it will be in the second normal form. Next, third normal form. See, under this third normal form, actually a database is in third normal form if it is satisfies the following conditions. So first one is, it should be in the second normal form. There are no transitive functional dependency. We'll see. So what do you mean by transitive functional dependency? See, by transitive functional dependency, we mean we have the following relationships in the table. A is functionally dependent on B. B is functionally dependent on C. In this case, C is transitive dependent on A via B. A is functional dependent on B. B is functional dependent on C. And C is transitively dependent on A via B. So it is called as third normal form. If A is a table, if A is dependent on B and B is dependent on C, and in this case C is dependent on or transitively dependent on A via B or A or B also. See, in third normal form, you can consider this table, student detail table. In this table, student ID is primary key, but street, city, state dependent on P. See, student name is dependent on student ID and DOB also. DOB means date of birth, and then other three columns, street, city and state, dependent on PIN. And other fields is called transitive dependency. Other fields are called transitive dependency. Hence, we have to apply third normal form. That means we need to move the street, city and state to a new table with pin as primary key. So, we are going to divide the given table into two. So, in this first table, student ID, student name and date of birth is in one table, and street, city and state and in another table, where pin is the primary key to that second table. See, here student ID and student name, date of birth and pin. Here student ID is the primary key. So pin, we can say it is dependent on the second one. See, here address table which includes pin, street, city and state. Here pin is the primary key. Here pin is the primary key. Street, city and state which is dependent on pin. And the advantage of removing transitive dependency is amount of data duplication is reduced. That means data redundancy. And second one is data integrity achieved. Data integrity means which depends on the different types of, data types. So advantage of removing transitive dependency is, first one is amount of data duplication is reduced. Data integrity achieved. See, these are all, that means first normal form, second normal form, third normal form and another one is fourth normal form. Just move on to the fourth normal form, or it is also called as BCNF, Boyce Code Normal Form. It is the higher version of third normal form. This form deals with a certain type of anomaly that is not handled by 3NF. See, a 3NF table which does not have multiple overlapping candidate key is said to be in BCNF. If there is a multiple overlapping key, then it is not possible to handle by the third normal form. So we need this one, BCNF. So BCNF is the highest version of third normal form, and this form deals with a certain type of anomalies that is not handled by 3NF. That means multiple overlapping which is not handled by, it's not possible to handle by the 3NF. That means third normal form. Okay, there are some points regarding to Boyce Code Normal Form or BCNS. See, here first one is when a relation has more than one candidate key. Candidate key means any key we can have, so it may be primary key, foreign key or any other secondary key, alternate key. Okay, anomalies may result even though the relation is in 3NF. Anomalies means problems, or we can say some sort of restrictions, or we can say complexity. Anomalies may result even though the relation is in third normal form. That means if there are more than one candidate key. Okay, just move on to the second point. 3NF does not deal satisfactorily with the case of a relation with overlapping candidate keys, that is composite candidate keys with at least one attribute in common. At least one attribute in common. See, third normal form does not deal satisfactorily with the case of a relation with overlapping candidate keys. That means multiple overlapping candidate keys, that is composite candidate keys with at least one attribute in common. See, third point is BCNF is based on the concept of a determinant. Next point, a determinant is any attribute, it may be a simple or composite, on which some other attribute is fully functionally dependent. And next point is a relation is in BCNF is and only if every determinant is a candidate key. That means we need every determinant should be in the candidate key or should be a candidate key. Okay, these are about Boyce Code Normal Form, BCNF. So this is very important for your examination purpose. You can expect this question, that is what do you mean by Boyce Code Normal Form. So what do you mean by a first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. You can expect this question for 3 marks question or 5 marks. So it's very important. Next, we'll move on to the next concept is ER diagram or entity relationship diagram. So what do you mean by an entity? An entity is a place or an object or a person, etc. So entity relationship diagram is also called as ER diagram. It is a visual representation of data that describes how data is related to each other. How data is related to each other. That means, is there any linkage or is there any link from one data to another? Such explanation that will be explained by this ER diagram. An ER diagram shows the relationship among entity sets. It shows relationship, for example, student and teacher, and here two entities, teacher and student. Teacher teaches to student, teacher teaches to student. Here relationship between teacher and student is teachers, or we can say teaching is the process, actually teacher teaching to student, in that way. An ER diagram shows the relationship among entity sets. An entity set is a group of similar entities. In an entity set is a group of similar entities, and these entities can have attributes. These entities can have attributes. Attributes means properties of that entity. In terms of DBMS, an entity is a table. An entity is a table or attribute of a table in the database. Attribute of table in a database. So, by showing relationship among tables and their attributes, ER diagram shows the complete logical structure of a database. Next, just go through this one. Here is a simple ER diagram. Simple ER diagram. See, there are two entities, student and college. Student and college, two entities, and each entity, that means student, have three attributes: student ID, student name, student address. And here also we can student name, we can treat that particular attribute as an entity. It may consist three attributes: first name, middle name, and last name. In that case, in that way also we can divide. Here student is an entity, so an entity can be represented by using a rectangle. Attributes can be represented by using an ellipse. Here student ID, student name, and student address attributes. And study in, it's a relation. And college, again an entity. It includes two attributes: college ID and college name. See, this particular diagram shows a simple ER diagram, and here there are some geometrical shapes and their meanings which is useful in ER diagram. See, rectangle that represents entity sets. An entity can be represented by using a rectangle. Next, ellipse that indicates attributes. Ellipse indicates attributes. Next, diamonds that indicates relationship. Diamond. Next, lines. Actually, lines are used to link some attributes or one entity to another, one entity to the relationship, etc. Next, double ellipse that indicates multi-valued attributes. Double ellipse indicates multi-valued attributes. Next, dashed ellipse, derived attributes. Next, double rectangle indicates weak entity sets, and double lines that indicates total participation of an entity in a relationship set. Double lines that indicates total participation. See, a rectangle that indicates entity, ellipse attributes, diamond relationship, lines that is to establish the link. Next, double ellipse, multi-valued attributes, dashed ellipse, derived attributes, double rectangles, weak entity sets, double lines that indicates the total participation of an entity in a relationship set. Next, components of ER diagram. There are three components: entity, attribute, and relationship. entity attribute relationship. Entity can be represented by using a rectangle, attributes can be represented by using ellipse, and relationship can be represented by using diamond shape. See this. Here ER model, here entity, here also weak entity and composite entity also there. That is not, that particular word is not there. Okay, let it be there. Here under ER diagram, attributes are there. There are 4 types of attributes: key attributes, composite, multi-valued, derived, etc. And then relationship. See, there are 4 relationships: one to one, one to many, many to one, and many to many. But according to your syllabus, instead of that one to one to many to one, many to many, such relationship is not there. Binary relationship is there, tertiary relationship is there, next recursive relationship is there. Instead of one to one, one to many to one, many to many. And of course, under binary relationship, these points are there: one to one to many to one, many to many relationships are there. See, first one is entity. So what do you mean by an entity? An entity is an object or component of data, and an entity is represented as rectangle in an ER diagram. Next, for example, in the following ER diagram, we have 2 entities, student and college, and these 2 entities have many to one relationship, as many students studying in a single college. Here, student is an entity, college is another entity, and a relationship between these two is by using the diamond shaped, and here that is study. Okay, here many students, they may study in a single college, so many to one relationship. Next one is weak entity. So what do you mean by weak entity? See, weak entity means an entity that cannot be uniquely identified by its own attributes, and relies on the relationship with other entity is called weak entity. The weak entity is represented by a double rectangle. See, weak entity means, example to weak entity is, a bank account cannot be uniquely identified without knowing the bank to which the account belongs to. So the bank account is weak entity. So to specify or to represent or to recognize a particular bank entity, we need IFSC code and that particular SB account number, and all those things should be specified while specifying weak entity. So to specify an entity, so account number, bank account number, we can say it's a weak entity. Bank account is a weak entity. To specify bank account number, we need all those things like IFSC code and bank code, and all those things we need. And bank account, that is belongs to that particular bank. So bank account is a weak entity. So that can be represented by using the double rectangle. Next, attributes. So according to your syllabus, there are 2 attributes, key attributes and composite attributes. But according to DBMS, database management system, there are 4 attributes, 4 types of attributes: key attribute, composite attribute, multi-valued attribute, and 4th one is derived attribute. So what do you mean by an attribute? An attribute describes the property of an entity. An entity is represented as oval or ellipse in an ER diagram. There are 4 types of attributes: key attribute, composite, multi-valued attribute, and last one is derived attribute. See, so what do you mean by key attribute? A key attribute can uniquely identify an entity from an entity set. For example, student roll number can uniquely identify a student from the set of students, just like a primary key in any table. So it is called as key attribute. Key attribute is represented by oval or ellipse, same as the other attributes. However, the text of key attribute is underlined. See, here student is an entity and there are 4 attributes: roll number, name, age and address. Here roll number is underlined, so that indicates key attributes. So key attributes in any entity relationship diagram, underlined attribute is said, it is called as key attribute. Key attribute. Next, second one is composite attribute. So what do you mean by composite attribute? An attribute that is a combination of other attributes is known as composite attributes. An attribute that is a combination of other attributes is known as composite attribute. For example, in student entity, the student address is a composite attribute, as an address is composed of other attributes such as pin code, state, country. That's why we can say composite attributes means it's a collection of many attributes. It is composed of more than one attribute. It is called as composite attribute. And here is another ER diagram. Student, that is related to another address, and that means student, its attribute is one of the attribute is address, and this address which consists of 3 other attributes: pin, state and country. Pin, state and country. Okay, these are about composite attribute. Okay, these are about today's concept. So today we studied about many points. That means normalization rules. So first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, and BCNF, and it is very important for your final examination. And next, ER diagram are there. Under ER diagram, you can expect ER diagram for 5 marks question and 2 marks questions also. And under ER diagram, 3 components are there: entity, attribute and relationship. It's very important. And I'm going to stop this session today, and we'll see you in next session.